Hey everyone, I am gearing up for the holidays, and I know that you all have a lot going on. So maybe you're listening to this while you are preparing meals for your family or welcoming people in. And I just thank you so much for spending some time with me here and just kind of always coming back every single week. So, as you know, I've got a little one in middle school who's 13, and it's been a journey. Anyone who's ever had teenagers knows what that's like. And we've been really fortunate to have her here chatting with us on the pod a couple times. I want to say maybe 4 or 5 times. She's always been someone who's been willing to pop in and share her insights, and she's got lots of really valuable perspectives. And this past week, she came to me and she said, Mom, we need to do a podcast. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? And she was like, I already have the title. And I was like, oh, not you're telling me. So, thankfully the holidays are here and she's got some fresh thoughts. After she's been in middle school for a couple months, and I think you guys know she started at a new school and she loves it, absolutely loves it, but now we've really settled into friend groups, and for the mamas out there, you know what I mean? Everything's great in September because we're coming off of summer break and we just want new faces, but we really don't know how it's going till November when they settle in. Well, we are a couple months in and things are settled in. And that being said, we have a special guest here today, easily one of our favorites. I'm so happy to welcome Allie.
Hey, y'all.
Hello. We are so glad you are here. Listen, not you tried to take over. Not you're like, I have things to say.
It's okay. We'll just rename the podcast Allie Walters Podcast.
That's what it is. That's what it is. Okay, fair enough. That's it. It's a rename podcast, y'all. So thank you. Welcome to the Allie Walters podcast today. So the title you gave me for this was You See, I See, We Don't Agree.
Yeah.
So when I heard that, I was like, oh, like this is about like opinions and perspectives and things like that. So can you tell me a little bit more, I guess to start with, we were talking about like a lot's happened recently in the world, like politics and, that's like a hot button issue, at least with adults. Is that something that your friends also were talking about?
They were mostly talking about it, but they were also mostly talking about like, oh, what are you gonna wear tomorrow for blah blah blah. I'm like, okay.
So this thing that at least for the adults is like, I mean, people are, that people are like dreading going home for holidays because they're like, I don't want to have to talk about this at the table with my family.
Yeah.
Like it's a real like hot issue, but you'd say that most of your friends, 13, 14, were just kind of like, okay, like I know it's happening, but well, tell me, what were they like?
Well, some of my friends like actively were like talking about it, and
Mhm.
then like some other friends decided to just like not worry about it for most of the time because they're like, it doesn't do anything to me.
Mhm.
But one of our teachers was like, it does.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it really does. Like it's I mean, we talk about it in our home and like we like to hear your opinion and we care about it, because it does affect you. Like a lot of the choices that I'm living now are based on the choices that my parents made and their parents made beforehand. But that being said, part of why you said you wanted to have this chat was because you said your friends have opinions sometimes that you wonder if their parents listen to them, or you tell
Yeah.
me more about that.
It's more of like if the parents are actually listening and processing, or if they're
Mm.
just listening and like just not deciding to do what they say. Like not do
Interesting.
what they say, but like understand what they say.
Okay,
Like they
so
don't bother to process.
tell me more about that. Is there a situation without telling your friend's business, right? Like
Yeah.
because we're not trying to, blow up people's spots here, but when you're with your friend groups, are you finding that your friends are feeling unheard by their parents? And mamas, just so you know, like whenever we have Allie come here, it really is to just give you some perspective. And I think some of it might give us some heart ease because we realize the kids are more all right than we think, and sometimes, it's to give us some perspective on like, wow, this may be something we need to talk about. You know what I mean? So do you, I'll start with us. Do you feel like your opinion is heard in our home?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's good. Save me a little therapy money there. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
So, but do you feel like that's common amongst your friends? Like, do your friends feel like their parents are paying attention to them or interested in what they say or care or?
I think the parents are paying attention, but it's also only when the kids talk to them about it. Cause like some parents are like, oh my God, my kid talked to me about this and I'm so excited about it. And then some parents are like, oh, my kid talked to me about this and I'm not sure what to do.
Whose responsibility do you think it is to bring up stuff? Like, because you know, some certain things are cringy, and it's like I literally
Yeah.
don't want my parents to talk to me about that. Like, you have a class called life skills,
Yeah.
and you guys, if you watch on YouTube, you should see her face right now. She's like, "Oh Lord, not life skills." Tell us a little bit about life skills.
Life skills is like a class where we're supposed to be learning life skills. Supposed to be.
What are you learning?
But they're teaching us about the body
Hmm.
and like relationships and empathy.
Hmm.
And in my head, I'm like, I already know all this stuff.
Right.
I need to be learning on how to not let my house catch on fire.
Right. You're like, no, I want like living skills. Like,
Yeah.
I want to know how to engage in this world.
It's
Like, show
called
me how to make a
life
sandwich.
skills.
Right. Life skills. But instead, you guys are learning about like girl body parts, boy body parts. Like, you're learning about like interactions, liking people, conflict resolution. Now, I know that for you, you're like,
Yeah.
like I already know how to do this stuff, but it is really helpful for everyone to hear it all at one time. And
Yeah.
it is the stuff that, really does make a better life experience if people know how to get along. So there's value there.
But it also makes a better life experience if we know how to not catch on fire and make sandwiches.
Good point. You're like, I'm just trying to stay alive.
Yeah.
Good point. Good point.
Like how
So
if we stay alive, then we can learn those skills.
that's also true. You're like, this class needs to be more robust. So
Yeah.
you are in a class called life skills. And even though you're in that class, are you finding that like that is what you're running into more in middle school? Is that your friends are trying to figure out life?
Yes. I think
I don't know. Tell me more about that.
like it's not that they're trying to figure out life, they're trying to figure out like what's happening in the moment. Like they're not thinking like, "Oh, what class do I have next? What's this?" They're trying to figure out like, "Oh, what should I wear today? Should I put on a hat today?" And I'm like, "You need to figure out what classes you have first, what homework you got to do."
So would you say their priorities are more about them?
Yeah. It's not more about like everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not trying to say that they're selfish,
Sure.
but they're also like need to think about everything,
Yeah, just
not
figure out
just
their lives.
one.
Yeah, like figuring out like what they like and what they don't like and all that. So I
Yeah.
guess that brings me to something that we talked a little bit about is that like you're hearing a lot more about people saying they're dating, right?
Yeah.
Or like that they are like going out with someone or what did they call it? Shipping,
Yeah.
right? Like a relationship, right? So
Yeah.
being shipped together with someone else. So can you tell us a little bit more about just tell us basically teach us the way that I teach you because we don't know all these things. So like what
Yeah.
does it look like? It like are you and your friends talking about it first and then somebody tells the boy? Like how does that work?
So honestly, I haven't been trying to get caught up in that,
I
but
appreciate it, girl.
like mostly what I've seen is like, oh, one person likes someone else, and then one of the friends finds out from the guy, like another guy's friend, and they're like, oh, they both like each other. And then they're like, oh my gosh, you guys should go out together. But it's not going out, it's just hanging, like talking to each other.
So let's keep it real. Like, so first of all, mom loves that. Okay. Like, I just say for the record, mom loves that because that is what it was like when I was younger. And I think a lot of us mamas out there are like, these kids are doing too much too fast. So it's very comforting to hear that there's still some elements that are like when we grew up. But what does it look like then when someone says that they are going out? Like, are people holding hands? Are they kissing? Are they doing more stuff? Like, what's happening?
It's more like a side hug, and then they like go somewhere together. It's not even like a, oh, we're going out, like
Mhm.
we're going out on a date, and it's gonna be like all this stuff. It's like
Like
we're
walking
going out
around
to
school.
Sky Zone and just playing on trampolines.
Okay. So it's just hanging out.
Yeah.
That's
It's
awesome.
like
I
hanging
like
out
to
with
hear
your
that.
friend, but like with someone that you like.
Would you say that there's still a little bit of awkwardness?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good. Is there kissing?
No.
I listen. We were still the exhale. Y'all moms know how I feel. Whew. We love that. We love that. That's good. Now that you guys have life skills class and you're learning more about those interactions and stuff, do you feel like there is a little bit more awkwardness? Because you guys are getting ready to have like a big dance right at some point this year. Are people asking each other out to that? Or is it like, are you expected to go with someone? Like,
I think it's just like go with your friends more than like, oh, go with a boy to the dance. I think just like, oh, hang out, dance, eat food, chill.
got it. So friend groups are really seem to be really important.
Yeah.
at this point. Do you find that friend groups matter more than anything else right now?
Um,
Or that people are very focused on, like, their friends?
Most people are like focused on their friends or like hanging out with their friends. So yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty important. I showed you a video earlier this day,
Yeah.
about something that was going viral around the internet, and it was a mom who was being videotaped inside of a cell phone store with her daughter, and it looked like, we don't know the details specifically, but it looked like the mom was processing getting her phone turned off or taking it away or something to that effect.
Yeah.
And you tell me a little bit about how was the daughter reacting?
She was like angry and also sad at the same time. Like she
Mhm.
was screaming like, "Oh, please don't turn my phone off."
Mhm.
But also it was screaming at the top of her lungs in a
Mhm.
public place.
Mhm, mhm, like,
So,
she was having a emotional meltdown,
yeah.
basically, about it, and it was, about this I imagine the idea of not having her phone, right?
Yeah.
So, with your friends, right, so first, we've talked about, I think our last chat was about social media and phones,
Yeah.
and how you don't have the internet, you don't have social media, and you were going into the school year at that point, and it was like, what do you think of it? How does it feel? All of that.
Yeah.
Now your school's actually implemented some new rules around cell phones.
Yeah.
Do you wanna share what those rules are?
The rules are you have to well, they got this thing called yonder pouches,
Mhm.
and basically at 8:15, you have to go to, like, the front and, like, unlock your yonder pouch, put your phone in the pouch, and then lock it back up, and then you can do what you wanna do.
But you can keep your pouch with you all day.
Yeah,
So you still keep your phone with you, but you don't have access to it.
yeah,
Okay.
and I usually put mine in my locker because there's just no point in carrying around a pouch all day,
Sure.
and then also, if you forget your pouch, you can just go turn it into the head of school and be like, "Oh, can you keep my phone in your office until the end of the day?" So, some people forget their pouches often, so they just have it turned in there, or you put it in a pouch, and that's
That's
mostly
like
the
the rule.
phone
What are the
policy.
consequences if you keep your phone?
The first time is a warning, and then the second time is a detention, and then if you, like, just choose not to use the yonder pouch at all, it's, like, very serious consequences that I
Sure.
don't know of, but
Yeah,
and
sure.
still will not know of.
Wow. So, I mean, it pretty much is like no phones in school. And
Yeah,
like we're doing many steps to make sure that that does not happen at all.
yeah.
Truth moment. Are people still using their phones? Do you still see people using their phones?
Um, Not really.
Okay. For the most part, like it seems like the strategy's working.
Yeah.
Okay. And are you seeing tantrums? Because are people taught? How did they react to this? Was everyone on board? Because you understand that phones are such a. We've talked about this. That phones are hard for parents. Like
Yeah,
we are really struggling because when you guys are on your phones, you have access to your friends 24/7. So if there's
yeah,
school drama, it does not end. Right, it
yeah,
comes home. You guys are able to see things that we may not be able to see right away. Things like that. So at least in school, we want you doing school. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So, are you finding that your friends struggle while they're in school,
Um,
not having their phone?
they don't struggle because they don't have their phone. They struggle from, like, not paying attention. Cause like, the attention span you have from scrolling on your phone all day, it's only about 30-second video clips,
Ooh, girl.
and
Tell the
classes
people.
are, like, an hour in my school.
Mhm.
So, if the classes are an hour and your attention span is, like, 30 seconds, how are you gonna pay attention for all that time?
So you think that's what's happening is like people are so used to learning things in bite size that when you're asking them to sit still for an hour now, they're like struggle city.
Yeah,
Wow. What does it look like? Are your friends? Because I know we talked a little bit about like boredom. Like, is that what it is? Does it seem like people are bored?
yeah,
Like in school?
yeah, like, I'm usually paying attention, and some of my friends will be paying attention,
Mhm.
but some of them are just like, "Oh my gosh, this is so boring," and just, like, drawing or trying to go on their computers, and I'm like,
Mhm.
"You just gotta pay attention for an hour."
Would you say that your friends are always on their phones or always trying like some form of stimulus or
It's, like, always on their phones, always on some electronic device, or trying, like, a new trend that's happening.
So when you're going to school, like, because you take the bus in the morning,
Mhm.
when and Alex talks about this too, like that he would read a book, or sometimes you're tired, you just nap, you know what I mean, or
Yeah.
whatever. Is that kind of what people are doing in the bus? Like, what are people doing?
Yeah, most people are just, like, scrolling on their phones, like, I'll
What are
just
they doing? What is on the phone? Tell us. We want to know. What are they looking at? Are they playing games? Are they like, what are they doing?
like, sometimes I'll hear game sounds, sometimes I'll hear, like, TikTok audios,
Hmm.
and I'm just like people are just trying to get to school, and it's
Yeah.
really not that much of a big deal.
Yeah.
I know there's one girl on the bus that's always just reading her book in the corner, and I'm like, "That's how we
That's
should be
you.
acting."
Are you that girl? Wait, are you talking about yourself right now?
No. No, it's usually I just, like, rest my head and, like,
Mhm.
try to take a nap,
Well,
but
you're also the last stop, so you'll
yeah.
be at school in
So
like
I'm
2
just like
seconds. Yeah. So it seems like people are either gaming on social media or talking to friends
yeah,
constantly. And so there's this constant stimulus that's coming. And so they're just struggling with being bored.
yeah,
Like they don't even know what that is anymore.
mhm,
Do you know what it's like to be bored?
yep.
What's that like for you?
Being bored is, like, nice.
Nice. That is not the word I thought you would say. That's
Like,
not what I thought you would say.
it's just, like, nice and also peaceful. Like, when I'm bored, I'll just, like, listen to music and then just stare into empty space.
You really do. Sometimes I come out and I get worried. I'm like, "Are you all right? Are you all right, sis? You going through some things right now?"
But I'm also just like, I just wanna be bored.
Yeah.
Like, just listen to some music, look at something random, I don't know.
Yeah, find an activity or whatever,
Yeah,
hang out with the dogs. That is true. Like you do seem, but also I would say that some of that is your personality, right? Like you seem very comfortable being by yourself.
yeah, because I'm
Would you
also,
say
like,
your friends feel comfortable being by themselves?
not like, they do, but by themselves as in on their phones.
Mm.
Like, when I say I need to be by myself, I'm just like, I'm gonna be by myself, just sitting, not paying attention to my phone,
Hmm.
not paying attention to anything except for the dogs
Yeah,
because, they're amazing.
because they will not give you space.
Yeah, and I'm just, like, staring into space, doing absolutely nothing because it's just nice to do nothing sometimes.
Sure.
But they're always doing something. Like, my friends are always doing something, it's constant, and I'm like, I don't know how you do it."
Yeah, you can't do it. It's just too much. Well,
Yeah,
speaking of that, one of the things that we also talk about is a large part of wanting to be on social media or interact with your friends is because people want to keep up, like you said, with trends.
yeah,
Like what are people doing with hair, skincare, makeup, what's cool, what's not, all that. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit because we haven't talked about this much before about body image
mhm,
and clothing and makeup and things like that. Because at 13, a lot of us moms, especially if we're raising little girls, we really worry about what you think of yourselves,
yeah.
And well, first I'll ask you, should we be worried about that? Or are we all hyping it up too much? Or do you think overall moms should really be aware of what their daughters are thinking?
Honestly, I would rather have my parent overhype it, maybe just, like, not like, "Oh my god, are you gonna do that? Are you okay with that?"
Hmm.
Like, always constantly asking the question,
Hmm.
but I feel like you should rather overhype it than have your child out there being, like, very insecure and, like,
Mm.
not comfortable in their own skin.
That's really good. So you're saying that we should be our kids' hype squad.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, listen, that makes sense. Like,
Yeah,
that's how we are in our house to the point where sometimes we're delusional. We're
yeah.
like,
You'll be like, "Do I look pregnant today?"
I
We'll all
know.
be like, "No, you
No,
look so
girl, you
good, you
look
look
so
so
good.
skinny."
7 months pregnant. Like, that's the truth, though. But no, you look good, though. Ha ha. How do I look today? You need a shower. No, you look great. Like, that's our family. But what are you seeing with your friends? Are they starting to be like more insecure? Do they worry more about what they look like? Are your friends wearing makeup? Like, how does that go?
I know most of my friends do wear makeup, and I'm also like, in my head, when I see them wearing makeup, I'm just like, "You're just gonna ruin your skin even more." But you do
Family
you.
values, we exfoliate.
Yeah. And they're also like worrying about like, "Oh my gosh, I should get like the new whatever this is product for my skin." And I'm like, it's really not that good great for your skin. Spending
Mhm.
$40 on a tiny little container,
Mhm.
it's not
Mhm.
the greatest option,
Right.
but it's like their choice, and I'm not gonna like judge them for it, obviously. But you can also just look good in your own skin without using $40 products for no reason.
No, that's totally true. And so does that seem like that's more of a concern? Like, do you have I remember when I was in middle school, people having just whole meltdowns about stuff. Like if they came to school and like their outfit wasn't right, we're crying in the bathroom.
Oh my
If
gosh,
like,
yes.
oh yes, like you guys
Yes.
have moments like that.
Like, I know one friend forgot, like, to bring an extra shirt,
Hmm.
and she was like, "Oh my gosh, I forgot to bring an extra shirt. I'm so mad." And basically, they're, like, calling their mom, calling their dad in the bathroom, and I'm like, "If I'm just trying to pee in the bathroom, all your parents here in the background are, like, just me
Toilet
peeing."
flushing sounds like this is an event. Like,
Yeah,
and it was like school was like basically disrupted. Like I cannot continue because of
yeah.
this thing. So people really do care a little bit about their body image and stuff. Do you find that um they're caring about, like, in terms of body image, like what their actual body looks like? Like, do I have a nice shaped body? Do people like it? Like, I want to look a certain way. Like, do they care about those things, or is it just mostly what's cool clothes and makeup right now, or both? Or
I think it's, like, what's cool clothes and makeup, and it also depends on the clothes. So, like, if it's, like, a very fitted shirt, they'll care about, like, how their actual body looks in the shirt,
hmm
but honestly, you can just wear a baggy shirt and, like, the
and it's
cool
whatever
jeans or
at this point.
something, and then you'll be fine.
That's interesting. Yeah, it's how do you think that parents should handle that? Because I know that in our family we talk a lot about health, as our
Yeah,
bodies, like what can our bodies do for us, not just, what they look like for other people, per
yeah.
se. Do you feel like your friends are thinking about that at all? Like, what do I eat? What's important? Like, those sorts of things? Or do you feel like it's more about what I look like?
I feel like it's about, like, more what they look like, but when I think about it, I'm like, we care about what we look like, but most of the places that we go to give us, like, double of what we're supposed to be eating,
Oh,
and
talk about that. So that's something new you've been learning about. You want to
yeah.
tell everyone a little bit about what you've been learning?
Yeah. So, I finally watched the movie Super Size Me. It
What's that
was
about? Some people don't know what it is.
it's basically a movie about, like, how you can't eat McDonald's 3 meals a day for 30 days in a row.
And why not? Why is that not like maybe the healthiest of choices?
'Cause I think he gained about 30 pounds,
Yeah, it
right?
was it was it was a lot.
Yeah,
I think it was like 10 pounds the first week or something.
he gained, like, so many pounds, and he was, like, extremely healthy. He was,
Mhm.
like he weighed, like, 180 something.
Mhm.
He was, like, perfectly healthy, perfectly normal, like, blood pressure, perfectly normal everything.
Mhm.
Then after he ate all the McDonald's for about 30 days for 3 meals a day, he felt extremely tired, couldn't, like, do anything, and just had, like, no energy.
Mhm. It seemed to even affect his mindset.
Yeah,
Yeah, and all of that. And so it just seemed like the food that he was eating wasn't the best fuel for his body, right?
yeah,
Like it wasn't giving him his nutrients that he needed. And before this, what did you think about eating? Like how do you think you we love to eat, right? Like
yeah.
first of all, we love to eat. We know that like we should enjoy food, we should be happy and all of that, right? But before that, something we hadn't really talked about much was like portions.
Yeah,
We were learning more about like different things like balance and carbs. We've always been of like a veggie eating household. That's not something and we cook a lot in our house.
yeah.
But before that, what did you know about portions and stuff? Like,
I knew nothing about portions. Then after I watched Super Size Me, I learned that 1 bagel is the equivalent to 5 slices of bread.
right. And then you were just like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, like, before I watched the movie, I just ate, like, 1 bagel, and since it's 5 loaves of bread, it's, like, 2 slices of bread,
Hmm.
like, of the bagel,
Hmm.
and then I put cream cheese and jelly on top and then had 2 eggs.
Hmm.
Now, I only eat, like, 1 half of the bagel,
Hmm.
and then maybe I'll add, like, butter and jelly, or maybe I'll add cream cheese and jelly
Yeah.
and eat 1 egg.
Yep. And when you eat that, are you finding yourself still feeling full, or are you feeling deprived?
I'm still feeling a little bit hungry, but that's because I haven't eaten fruit yet.
Right. So you're filling in your hunger gaps with other things that are more nutrient
Yeah.
instead of eating the thing that might taste the best.
Yeah.
And so this past week we had a situation with tacos.
Yeah.
You guys should see her face right now. She's like, it might have been a little bit of a taco situation.
Yeah.
Tell me what happened with the taco situation.
So I just came home from playing tennis with some of my friends.
You were wiped, girl. You're so
Yeah.
tired.
I was tired and I was hungry.
Mm-hmm.
And I burned like a bunch of calories that day
You
because I
did.
played tennis, I played soccer, I played so many things that day. I was like,
Mhm.
I'm just gonna eat 2 tacos, I'm gonna eat a salad, and I'm gonna eat a banana.
Mm-hmm.
Then You're like, "Are you sure 2 tacos is a serving size?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then you're
You
like,
were like, yeah, and I was like, girl, I was like, you know, good and well. The thing about it is, I don't care if you eat I don't care if you eat three tacos. You know what I mean? Like,
"Yeah,
because sometimes we just want to eat three tacos, like, and that is totally fine.
yeah,
I just thought I was like, I always want to remind you though to like make your choices intentionally. You know what I
yeah."
mean? Know what you're doing. Hmm.
So then you're like, "I'm gonna do something for you. I'm gonna prepare you a salad, some broccoli, and 1 taco." And then you're gonna tell me if you're still hungry or if you're full.
Yep. And if you're still hungry, you can have another taco. No problem. I
Yeah,
always tell you, I'm like, the fridge doesn't have feet. It's not going
yeah,
anywhere. You can eat up the whole fridge if you want to.
yeah.
What happened after you ate like a massive amount of broccoli and a good bit of salad and fruit? And I think I also made you dessert after.
So after I ate a bunch of broccoli, a bunch of spring mix, and 1 taco, I was pretty full, and I was doing the dishes, and then I saw you making a little apple pie, and I was like, "Just so you know, I got full from that, but I still got, like, just a little bit of
A
room
little
stuck
bit
in
of
here."
room. There's a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. And you had a little bit of will.
Yeah,
Perfect. Perfect. Now, it's funny because that's the point is just learning, right? Like, and knowing that, wow, if I can fill in the gaps in my meal with nutrients, you know, that'll
yeah.
also make me feel good. That's important. And do you find that when your friends eat at lunch and things like that, is that how they're eating? Like, do they even know? Like,
I don't think they know portions and, like, all the stuff like that, like, eating more vegetables and, like, carbs and stuff.
do you think they do it if they did? Like, do you think they would eat
That's a
this?
good question.
Tell the truth. Do you think they would if they do?
Mm. It depends on which friend. Like, I think some of them would, some of them wouldn't because they're like, it's okay."
Hmm.
But I'm also like, "It's not okay." You gotta, like, actually pay attention if you wanna actually, like, be a certain way. Like, I wanna be, like, super good at tennis and, like, good at Serena Williams level, and you're
Yeah.
always getting on me like, "Do your drills, do your drills."
Yeah, if you want to, you gotta practice. It's not gonna happen by itself. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, it's so true.
I
It's so
forgot to do
true.
my drills yesterday.
It's okay. You got
But
time. You got time. You got a long time before Serena, so I appreciate
yeah,
that. Listen, cutie pie, I so appreciate when you come in here and you share some insights because I'm gonna be just really honest with you and really transparent right now. I think that being a mom to a teenager is one of the most terrifying things in the world. You know, it's I mean, I'm fortunate because I have a teenager that like I like you a lot. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
like I love you because you're my kid, but I like you because you're cool, you know, and I enjoy being around you, which means I like being in your business, you know, like it's
yeah,
fun for me. And I don't know if every parent gets to feel that way, but teenagers can be tough. Sometimes it feels like, you know, we're in a battle to fight for your perspective. You know what I mean? Like when you
yeah,
guys are out in the world and everybody's trying to get you to buy this and get you to do this because they know that your brains are still growing and you're new humans and all that. So
yeah,
when you come in here and you share things with us about what parents should be paying attention to and what your friends need, it really does help us a lot, you know, as moms to sometimes feel better, but also to feel like maybe we can help. Is there any last thing that you think when you think of your friends and stuff they're talking about now, what's heavy? Like if you could tell any mom right now, go ask your kid about this, you know, or go listen to them about this. Is there something in particular that really stands out to you?
I think you should be approaching your kids by giving, like, them more reassurance,
Mhm.
because they understand that you guys think farther ahead than us, and we also know that you're right majority of the time.
You guys know that? We need to know that. When I tell you, we want to know that we're in your head still.
Yeah,
It doesn't feel that way.
you are. It's like those The Emperor's New Groove. I
Mhm.
got my parent on one side, and I got
Mhm.
my other parent on this side, or I
Okay.
just got both.
Got it. So we're whispering in there. You even
Yeah,
if you guys act like you don't. Well, so when we say put on a coat, it's cold outside. Once you guys go outside and it's cold, you are thinking my mom told me this.
yeah,
Okay, good. Even if you don't admit it.
yeah.
Okay, good. That's
Because
comforting.
we will never admit it. We are very stubborn.
I appreciate that. That's true. That's true. And so how should we approach it if we're trying to like make sure that we're being considerate and giving reassurance? Like what's the best interaction?
Probably just give positive reassurance, or, like, if it's not reassurance, it's, "We could probably not do this because saying it in, like, a negative way impacts it more than you saying it in the positive way.
Mhm.
Because, like, when you say something in the negative way, it usually sticks more than the positive. Because it's like there's a little bit of positive, but there's
Mhm.
more negative.
So
Like,
if it's negative, it sticks more in a bad way, like it doesn't feel
yeah,
good, and it maybe makes them want to not do the thing.
yeah, because like usually stick with the negative because I'm
Mhm.
like, there's always something I need to work on.
Sure.
So I'm like, oh, they're probably in their heads being like, oh, I should probably work on this, 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 and this. And they only got like one positive thing. You got to
Mm.
give like it all positive, but still give advice.
Yeah, so it's like it's speak nicely to your kids, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, and give them grace as they're trying to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess it sounds like also a lot of listening,
Yeah.
even
Like,
if we know they're wrong.
listen and speak positively.
Listen and speak positively. Oh, so, so good. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sharing and helping us get through these teen years. I appreciate you, cutie.
Thank you.